Fortune favors the brave is very commonly used to inspire and motivate people to come out of their negative mindsets. So, the important point here is to be at the right place, present, to be present at the right place at the right time, so that when the fortune favors you, you should be there to accept the favor. So this is I'm just going to show you a very small clip here, wherein you can see a athlete, ice skater winning a Olympic gold medal. So if you've seen this, the ice skater who is winning the gold medal is his name is Stephen Bradbury. Bradbury. He's from Australia. Now you can see that four of his competition who were ahead of him by 15-20 meters have suddenly on the final lap of the final in the Winter Olympics, Salt Lake City Winter Olympics 1000-meter fast short track speed skating final. When they fall down, this gentleman who is 15 to 20 meters behind all these four competitors wins the race very easily. Now, from the video, it may seem that he was very lucky to get to get the gold medal in the Winter Olympics final. But we need to understand certain aspects to understand what the fortune favors the brave means. Important thing is to be there. Important thing is to be in the finals of the Winter Olympics, so that when the things go in your favor, you are there to accept the favor. So just to understand, Stephen Bradbury is an Australian skateboard ice skater. He's coming from Queensland, which is not so favorable to ice skating conditions because it is a typical tropical climate. In Australia, ice skating is not considered to be a very favorite sport, and people don't typically follow. Australians are extremely athletic and sports oriented people, but ice skating is not one of them due to the obviously atmosphere and the supporting infrastructure there. So Stephen Bradbury chooses the sport which is not so in demand or cool, so to say, in Australia because of the requirements of the infrastructure and the climatic conditions. But he chooses ice skating, and then he works hard on it. And in 1994, after practicing for 4 years, first time in the history of Australia, they win any medal in Winter Olympics at all till that point in time. So 1994 Lillehammer Winter Olympics, Australian team won the first bronze medal in ice skating, 5,000-meter relay, short track speed, 5,000-meter relay skating final. This was the first bronze in any Winter Olympics by any Australian till that point in time. So after 94, after winning the bronze, he participates in two more Olympics, Nagano and Salt Lake City. He tries multiple world championships, but typically fails miserably. Then he also undergoes unfortunate accidents, because in one of the accidents, a fellow the steel blade or the skate of used by the fellow runner skater cuts his thigh, and he has to suffer 110 stitches and a lot of time. I think 18 months it takes for his thighs to recuperate and for him to stand up again. In 2000, there is one more accident wherein the ice skater in front of him falls down, and to avoid colliding with him, he has to jump. And while landing, he again makes a mistake, and he collides with the wall, and his neck is broken. So that medical recuperation also takes time. When doctor says that you will not be able to participate in any ice skating in future. But even after this was in 2000, even after all these setbacks and not so good financial condition, not having support, financial and infrastructure support from Australian infrastructure team, the Olympics team or the sports team. I'm not blaming Australian infrastructure, but obviously ice skating is not the typical sport that can be practiced or that can be followed in Australia. So that is a different aspect. But even after not neither the infrastructure nor the neither the infrastructure availability nor the support or the mentoring availability, and neither the medical situation after facing a thigh cut and broken neck, he again stands up and practices for 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. In Salt Lake City Winter Olympics, he wins the opening bout. Then he gets into quarterfinal. In the quarterfinal, he comes third. The first two are qualified for the semifinals, but he stands third, and he's actually not qualified for the semifinal. But again, fortune favors him. The second person in the quarterfinal gets disqualified because of obstructing other fellow skaters, ice skaters. So obviously, he gets a chance to participate in the semifinal. In the semi-final again, he stands last, but fortune again favors him. Two of the ice skaters in front of him, they fall down and are disqualified, or they could not finish the race. And they finish the race, but this gentleman, Steven, finishes the race and in the second place, and automatically gets qualified for the final. Now in the final, his competition is very well-known, world-renowned ice skaters, and he's obviously not expected to win any medal, but he's there in the final. So at the age of 30, even after going through all these trials and tribulations and medical incidents, etc., he's still fighting for his ultimate objective is to win the gold medal. So in the final, when the final starts, he is obviously, because of the age, he cannot match the speeds and the stamina and the physical strength of his competition, who are far younger compared to him. But he uses his tactics and he uses his experience and mind to tackle these deficits or these weaknesses that he had. Age is not on his side, strength is not on his side, but experience is with him. So he sees that while going by the final, and while reaching the final line, final lap, athletes, the ice skaters are making mistakes. They are pushing themselves far way beyond their capacities, and because of which accidents are happening or mishaps are happening, or they are losing their balance and they are falling down. But he's expecting this thing to happen in final also. So what he decides is to stay back, let the four other competitors take the lead, and he will just be with them, just tagging them along, and just wait and watch till somebody makes some mistakes, and then he can make a move in the final. So as you see, and as you have seen in the clip, you can see the final lap of the final in the 1000 meter short track speed skating in Salt Lake City Olympics final. So if he wins the final, he's supposed to get the gold. If he doesn't, then obviously, if he's not in the first three, obviously he's not getting any medal. But even in that situation also, he's the only Australian who has ever reached personal finals, the finals of the personal events in Winter Olympics. So he has already achieved that milestone, and he's in the final. And then you have seen how in the final lap, 4 of the 5 competitors fall down because of mishap and losing the balance and cutting each other. And he very clear, even after being 15-20 meters behind the 4 competitors, he very easily crosses the final and gets the gold. Now even the referees, they have also to check whether this race needs to be reorganized, but they decide that this is the authentic race and Steven Bradbury has won the gold. So this is how the fortune favors him at the last moment again. So in his interview, he has said a very beautiful thing. He said, though people think that I was lucky in this in these 3 minutes, I was not the strongest, I was not the fastest ice skaters in the world. But I'm taking this gold medal not for the 3 minutes, but I'm taking this gold for the 12 years that I put in to reach the stage wherein, if at all fortune favors me, I will be able to accept the favor and get the gold. So this is what the fortune favors the brave means. You have to be at the right place at the right time, and then only, if at all fortune favors you, you will be in position to accept the favor. Thank you very much.